And the one person who is speaking up, who has been taking it on the chin, and we need to cover this because, again, we don't get into the gossip stuff, but the level of depravity on the part of particularly CNN's Jake Tapper and Dana Bash. I said that, because it's got to be Dana when you go to the fancy parties and stuff.
I'm saying Dana.
Dana.
I don't care.
I could so go after her physical appearance.
That whole nonsense with Rashida Tlaib when she didn't even mention that she was Jewish, like all of that.
Just remember.
Was so absurd.
The number one reason that she got under Dana Nessel's skin, the Attorney General of Michigan, isn't because she brought up Gaza or her support of Israel. It's because she brought up her failure as Attorney General in the Flint water crisis.
So what else can you do but play the anti-Semitism card? Because you can't really address the facts. So you claim anti-Semitism when in fact that she never even mentioned. I don't even know that Rashida Tlaib would have any way of knowing that what's her name, Nettle, is Jewish. Like in what part of that? And the fact that they made that up out of thin air, these people are disgusting. People like Jake Tupperware and whoever, and Dana Bash, these people are horrid.
And very important to note, and this is where this particular clip will start, the gentleman who wrote the article in the Detroit Times on behalf of Rashida Tlaib came out with Jordan on Status Coup to say, this is bullshit. Rashida never said anything about the fact that Dana Nessel is Jewish. And for whatever reason, corporate media just can't help themselves. They got to keep pushing the pro-Israel lobby narrative. Everyone's an anti-Semite who speaks out against our cause.
This is Dana Bash's father.
Oh, well, looks like a very powerful man.
Now to a sad reality, and that is anti-Semitism is everywhere. And it comes from both ends of the political spectrum. But politicians sometimes sidestep calling it out when it comes from a member of their own party.
You are the reason, among other people, that anti-Semitism is spiking in the United States.
And in all seriousness, and I'm being completely sincere, and it's a concern to me, like as a Jewish person, it's like on the one hand, I feel proud about being Jewish, like I do, and I feel proud about my heritage and my people. But on the other hand, I do not really want to assimilate with Jewish people anymore. I don't want to associate with them. I don't want to, because there is a possibility that they could be like this person or just an otherwise genocide supporter. I live amongst genocide supporters completely. And I feel like I have less of a risk of encountering that if I avoid Jewish people. And it bothers me that I feel that way, obviously. But how am I supposed,
the one thing that we have encountered that I'm sure you would agree with that is very true is that when it comes to this particular issue, it is very similar to almost every other issue, which is this is all about class. Dana Bash is in the upper class. She comes from an upper class family. She has an upper class job. And yes, she uses anti-Semitism as a weapon, not as a necessity.
Can I just say, like, that people like her, like, I don't consider her and Jake Tapper, none of these people are journalists. They're not. They're just not. This is absurd. These people are just talking heads. They are not journalists. When I was a kid, journalists would actually go get their stories, report their stories, and then do their stories. Yes. You had people, even the Dan Rather generation.
Oh, yeah.
Those people were actually reporters and journalists at one point. These people like this woman that were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, whose daddy is some big TV producer, they didn't get this because of being journalists and getting a scoop and finding a really good story or speaking truth to power. They were handed these positions based on nepotism and their elite college experiences. And it's disgusting because as somebody who actually went to journalism school, I can tell you, she is not our kind.
I'll continue.
We saw two examples on State of the Union yesterday. First, with Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer, when my co-anchor Jake Tapper asked about a Democratic Congresswoman's accusation that the state's Jewish Attorney General was letting her religion influence her job.
Right now.
Do you think that Tlaib's suggestion that Nessel's office is biased was anti-Semitic?
Listen, Jake, you know what? All I can say is that I know that our Jewish community is in pain, as is our Palestinian.
I just have to say, it is so obvious that this woman first of all, hopes that Kamala loses because she wants to run for president in 28. If you look at Gretchen Whitmer now compared to what she looked like prior to winning the governor's seat, she's like a completely different person.
I think she
now.
looks deranged. I actually think she reminds me right here with the lipstick and everything.
The eyes, the
Mommy
hair.
Dearest. She reminds me of Joan Crawford, of Faye Dunaway playing Joan Crawford and Mommy Dearest.
Listen, I have no problem with her having a personal trainer. She clearly has one.
That's neither here nor there. But what I'm saying is what she really needs is a stylist. This is completely not presidential. This looks like somewhere between a hooker and Mrs. Roper. The lipstick, like all of it is so unprofessional. But more than anything, she looks Stepford in her mannerisms. She's creepy. Yeah, no.
She totally comes off as rehearsed as any politician seeking a higher seat. Gavin Newsom comes off this way also. You know who doesn't really come off that way is, I hate to say it, but Governor Pritzker in Illinois. He doesn't care. Because Pritzker's a billionaire.
Exactly. She looks like she's somewhere between Mrs. Roper. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what this is. She should invest in a stylist. But that aside, seriously, not being petty, she's disgusting. So what she's saying.
The fact that she's not immediately coming to the defense of Congresswoman Tlaib and saying, listen, we can have our disagreements. There was nothing anti-Semitic about what she said. But she's not going to do that because Whitmer is just as indictable as far as I'm concerned, maybe not as much as Nessel, but she played a significant role in sweeping the Flint water crisis under the bus.
Well, that's why she has to protect her. Plus, she's the governor. So if she does, she has to protect her person.
Yeah. Trust me, guys. Governor Whitmer does not want Kamala Harris to win the presidency.
But at the end of the day, if this piece of shit here, if this Tupperware was an actual journalist, he'd be asking her the same questions about why she hasn't handled Flint. See, an actual journalist would have never have let this story get to this point in the first place. No real journalist would have ever even covered this ridiculous story because the story is Flint.
And that's not even discussing her own crisis, which she is 100% responsible for, which is the poisoning of the people of Kalamazoo and their paper mill.
Oh, yeah.
That's another story.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Those are the stories. The nonsense that they're making up because of the Zionist oligarchs that are forcing them to daily address the bullshit of anti-Semitism. So every day you will start seeing, every day there's going to be the anti-Semitism story of the day. We are going to constantly be being barraged with stories about anti-Semitism. And in this case, completely fabricated and then doubled down on by not one, but two CNN journalists. And nobody calls her out for poisoning people.
Well, I wouldn't exactly accuse CNN of journalism, but that's another story.
Well, yeah.
Palestinian and Muslim and Arab communities in Michigan.
Congresswoman Tlaib is suggesting that she shouldn't be prosecuting these individuals that Nessel says broke the law, and that she's only doing it because she's Jewish, and the protesters are not. That's quite...
Of course not.
Honestly, Rashida Tlaib should sue them.
Sue them.
I would absolutely, if I were Rashida Tlaib, I would be filing suit against Jake Tapper and CNN, and I'd include Dana Bash.
Dana.
If she likes Dana, I'm calling her fucking Dana. But the thing is, if I were Rashida Tlaib, seriously, this is libel.
Yeah, it is.
It just is.
It's pretty.
She never said one word about her being Jewish. She might not have even known.
And here's the thing about the law, ladies and gentlemen. Even if there is an implication, she still didn't say it. And he is saying that she said it. That's you can't say that. And
I would so sue them.
So sure of himself.
I would so sue him. He is such a, you know what? He's disgusting. But her eyes look weird because that's what, right there. She looks like Joan Crawford with the no more wire hangers. Like she looks psychotic.
Well,
and the other thing is also, I think she's had her forehead done. So she's had Botox in her forehead.
She's definitely had something done facially.
She looks plastic. Like it's not a good.
Colin, do me a favor. Grab a photo of Whitmer from like 2017, 2018.
Oh, no, we need to compare. We need to get that guy on the plastic surgeon that can go through and tell you all the work someone's had from the before and after pictures.
We'll
I love
that.
Quite an accusation. Do you think it's true?
Like I said, Jake, I'm not going to get in the middle of this argument that they're having.
Simple question. Did CNN or any of the other outlets that ran with this ever reach out to you?
No, not at all. And I kept checking my email. I kept checking my Twitter messages thinking, somebody's going to contact me. I'm the one who did the interview. I know what she said, and no one did. And that's really bothersome to me because, like, look at what this is all doing. Is it's taking away from what's actually happening in Palestine right now. I mean, there are tens of thousands dead, and here we are stuck on this conversation of having to, because it's our responsibility as journalists to correct wrong statements, right? So, I mean, we're doing the responsible thing. But it just seems interesting to me, the timing of this all happened when Rashida Tlaib was made the target of a racist political cartoon. And this all came out at that point. And to make the suggestion that the media somehow is not anti-Palestinian, all you have to do is look at the response to this. And you see it from the governor's mansion, the attorney general's office, media outlets, CNN, all saying Rashida Tlaib said something that she didn't say, suggesting that the only Palestinian American in Congress is an anti-Semite. That's so irresponsible.
A clarification on a story we brought you yesterday concerning Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib's comments attacking a decision by Michigan Attorney General Dana Nessel to bring charges against pro-Palestinian protesters at the University of Michigan. Tlaib accused Nessel of, quote, biases. Here's Tlaib's full quote to the Detroit Metro Times. It seems that the Attorney General decided if the issue was Palestine, she was going to treat it differently. And that alone speaks volumes about possible biases within the agency she runs. Yeah. Now, Tlaib did not reference Nessel's Jewish identity. Her office has not responded to our request for clarity. Her allies insist that's not what she meant. But Nessel still says she believes it is anti-Semitic and repeats.
Nessel wants everyone to believe that because she doesn't want to be accountable for what she needs to be held accountable for. This is smokescreen. So of course she wants everyone to believe that. Honestly, I am so sick of these Jewish people playing the victim card with this bullshit. I am so sick of it. I am so sick of hearing about, what are they? Honestly, I don't care about the Jewish people's feelings anymore. I don't care about the students' feelings. I don't care about their fucking feelings anymore. I really don't. I just don't. I don't care if they feel uncomfortable. I actually don't even care if they feel unsafe. I just don't. I don't care. So that's just me. I do not fucking care. You know what? You feel unsafe? Go sit in your house. Go sit in your house. You're not going to survive this world.
I know somebody who does that.
Who, me?
Because less than a year from now, Dana Nessel has every intention of running for governor of the state of Michigan.
Good luck with that, bitch.
Let's see how far she gets now, knowing that Rashida Tlaib represents the most consequential congressional district in the entire state. Good luck.